Hello my creative friend, Olga Soby here. Welcome to new fluid art tutorial. I continue exploration of combination of techniques. Texture plus fluid paint. I want to push myself further and really challenge myself to explore more variations of mediums, combinations, looks, techniques, style. So we are up for a lot of fun. And today I'm in a mood for something very tropical, oceany, something more on the abstract side. I know that the middle part looks like... Come back again. I'm done for the most part. Love how it looks. So here I have already created texture, it's already dry. And I have used a combination of mediums to create a variety of textures. So I have two in total. This part, this is where my ocean is going to be. For this one I have used some modeling paste and some sand gel to really create this very coarse, very textured surface. And in these lines that are going to be like a ocean shore, very abstract looking islands, sort of. You'll see what I'm going to do with it. I used the same combination but less sand gel, so this one has a bit less this coarse sandy texture, it's more smooth. So this is going to be the second part of the creation. I'm going to be working in layers. So texture first, then the fluid paint, then the final part to finish up the center. I am super excited to get started with this one. So without further ado, let's get to it. Ocean Felicity, secret message for this painting. And I want to work mainly, I want to focus on these parts of my painting that are going to be ocean, but I really don't mind if the texture goes onto, if the fluid paint goes onto this part of the texture, because I'm going to be painting and embellishing on top regardless. So I don't need to be super precise with my application, which is a good thing. And of course, for the tropical vibe, I have prepared quite a few blue and turquoise colors. So with the one that's going to be sort of more in the depth of my ocean, this is going to be a phthalo blue. So this is the darkest color that I use today. And I really want my colors to overmix. I'm not going for super realistic painting like I did with some of my previous ocean pieces. Just playing and having fun with this one. So phthalo blue, this is turquoise blue. So this one is lighter and has a bit more of turquoise in it. So it has some phthalo green. And I have a bunch of areas inside of my land texture. So I need to fill it in with some paint as well. And this is the main color of this painting. This is the turquoise green. So this is the lightest turquoise. It has a bunch of white and it has much more green undertone. I think it has the most tropical vibe in it. I really love this color. And drizzle some of that side of my gaps in this texture. And I have a few other colors just to diversify this color palette a little more. So this is also turquoise, so a mix of blue and green, but this one has significantly less white, so you can see that's why it's darker. And this one here is an iridescent color. This is iridescent green-blue. Another color that will work absolutely perfectly for ocean, tropical vibe. And it will give some very pretty shine, shimmer, once all of my acrylics are dry. I think I want to go ahead and maybe just even blend in those colors a little bit. And I'm going to be doing a blowing technique. But before that, I think let's mix them in a bit more. Oh, and by the way, today I'm working on 18 by 24 inches cradled wood panel. This is not a canvas. Okay, finally, before doing the blowout, I want to drizzle some white. Or maybe a little bit of highlights and foamy parts. Again, we're not going for a super realistic ocean shore painting, but white will give it nice accents and highlights. Let's do the blowout. And by the way, I want this painting to be in a portrait layout. I'm just working in landscape because it's easier for the size of the canvas. But the composition that I have in mind is this one. I think I'm gonna turn it back for now. Let's get to it. And I think I forgot to mention it, but of course, all of my colors are mixed with my new pouring recipe. I'm done for the most part. Love how it looks. Just a few little areas. I do feel like I need to fill them in a little more. Maybe add a bit more highlights in a few sections just here and there. I know that the middle part looks like a bit of a mess for now, and this section is completely covered, but worry not. Once it's dry, the texture, the elevated part will be more apparent, because right now fluid acrylics kind of covered some of them, but they will shrink and the texture will come back again. Okay, I think I'm gonna use some of those drips to cover up areas of my panel above the tape. I don't need to worry about taped part. Okay, I am super happy about it now. Now I'm gonna let it dry, the fluid paint, and I will see you in a moment for the next layer of beauty in this painting. So see you then. The fluid painting is dry, and by the way, right after I stopped recording the blowout part, I decided to use the drips from my table to cover up those textured sections. So that's why they all blue now. So everything is dry, and before I add the gold, I decided to add green sort of multicolor green, and because these textured parts in the middle, they are my islands, they are archipelago, and although it's gonna be mostly gold, I still want to add a green undertone so that it's more separated from my ocean sections of the painting. I keep adding colors in the areas where I have the most elevated texture and that I have initially planned out to be my islands. And I'm also using this sort of golden yellow along with my green to add more volume and more shades and really diversify this green color. Once the layer of green is dry, it is time to play with the gold. Oh, this is probably my favorite part. And with this painting, I don't want it to create a super solid golden coverage. I want some of that green and blue to shine from underneath. So you can see I'm leaving some sort of gaps in between the gold, so I'm not creating this super solid coverage. And by the way, if you want to learn more about my gold leaf brand and the application technique and the type and some of the compositional recommendations of mine, so that you can also successfully use it in your artwork, I have created a guide just for you. And I will include the link to this free guide in the description. Check it out. Once I'm done with gold, I'm ready for one more layer. So this painting definitely has a lot of layers of story in it. I want to add more interest and dimension to my golden sections. So I'm adding some highlights with white paint and some shades with green and turquoise right on top of the gold. And of course, I want that gold to shine bright, but since I covered such large areas of the painting with the gold, I don't want it to be overwhelming. So my goal right now is to make it a bit more seamless and blended with the rest of the piece. Finally, I use a roller and a sponge brush to add just a little bit more paint on top of the ocean sections as well. So I use blue and turquoise colors for that. I really want to emphasize the texture that I have created initially and reduce the contrast so that, again, all the elements in my painting look more cohesive with each other. And that is the trick when you add texture and/or embellishments to your artwork. It's not enough to add beautiful elements. You need to make them speak and dance together on a canvas within your artwork. So make sure all the elements of your artwork are in balance with each other. Once everything is fully cured, I cover the entire artwork with varnish. And as you already know, currently I'm working on Varnishing Mastery course. And I can't wait to share more details with you, so stay tuned for that. I know so many of you have requested to teach you how to do the varnishing properly. Last step, a very satisfying one. I always do it after the varnishing. Let's remove the tape and reveal clean wood sides of this artwork. Again, I worked on a cradle wood panel, so this is when I do this step. I remove the tape and look at this beautiful sharp edge. Love it. And here is the very final look and beautiful details of this golden archipelago painting. It has very dreamy yet vibrant and cheerful vibe. And by the way, this artwork is available for purchase on my website. In case you're interested, make sure to check it out. I love it so much, working with textures and exploring possibilities with it. And you know what? When inspiration is calling, you better answer the call. Because I have been really interested in texture for a while, and I'm still figuring it out and finding the best ways to combine it with fluid art. But the process and the results make me so happy. And the golden leaf totally takes this piece to a whole new level. Make sure to get my Golden Touch guide if you also want to add this touch of gold and luxurious beauty to your paintings. And if you're ready to take your art to the next level, I invite you to check out my Fluid Art Mastery online course. Thank you so much for joining me today. Take care, create with passion, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!